If you're thinking about solo travel but are nervous or a bit unsure, stick around because in this video, I'm going to convince you to do it. Travel was always something I enjoyed. Since I was a kid, my family would always take trips around the country. We'd also go on a few trips overseas, but never did I travel solo anywhere. I'd always been quite a sheltered kid, never put in any difficult situations, and as a result, felt that I never really got out of my comfort zone. As I got older, I saw that my friends were starting to drift away, either settling into their careers, getting married, or just becoming preoccupied with whatever they had going on in their lives, and I felt a sense of urgency that I had to do the same. But there was something missing, something that I needed to do before I could be happy and content with myself. I needed to get out of my comfort zone, to leave the safety of the known and see how well I could handle whatever was thrown at me. So after much contemplation, I made a decision. I made a decision to embark on a journey. A journey that would put me out of my comfort zone and allow me to challenge myself and test my limits. I decided to solo travel. I booked a one-way flight across the world to London with the goal of traveling around Europe. London was a city far from home, but a destination not too difficult for a first-time solo traveler. I remember as I boarded the plane, I was anxious but excited at the same time. It was a big moment of realization that this was actually happening and that I couldn't back down anymore. I was worried what others would think of me solo traveling and the fear of being alone in a foreign place. I was worried that I was going to get scammed or robbed. I was worried that I wouldn't have anyone to rely on. But I came to realize that these worries were all in my mind. And at this point, there was nothing I could do. I just had to go with it. When I arrived in London, I felt a sense of nervous energy. I caught a train to the city centre, dropped off my bag at the hostel, and went out to explore. I walked around the city alone, saw some sights, and then I took a moment to just pause and look around. Everyone was busy doing their own thing, focused on themselves, not worrying what others were doing. I came to realize that everyone was encapsulated in their own little world. The idea that everyone will be judging me quickly vanished, and I finally realized that most people's fears of being socially anxious are self-imposed. People often have this feeling that they're being judged by others, but it becomes blatantly obvious when you're out and about, especially in big cities like London, that this simply isn't the case. Everyone is too busy focused on themselves, not what others are doing. So I guess it goes to show, if you are deciding to solo travel and have a fear that other people are going to judge you based off of that decision to travel alone, you don't have to worry. Everyone is worried about themselves, and you should live your life for yourself and not for the approval of others. Another thing you'll come to realize if you not only solo travel but just travel in general is that most people just want a sense of belonging and feeling of being loved no matter who they are. It's the people in your life, the sense of community and belonging that you value the most. It doesn't matter where you're from, if you live in the city or the countryside, if you're rich or poor, people find the most meaning and fulfillment in their lives through genuine human interactions and relationships with their friends and family, and I think that's one of the greatest benefits of traveling and seeing other cultures. Another thing that you'll come to realize if you solo travel is that you'll be able to see your life back home from a third person perspective. You come to understand what really matters to you the most in life and what doesn't. No one on their deathbed is going to say, "Oh, I wish I spent more time at work," or "Oh, I wish I bought the fanciest new car every year." These things are cynical and superficial. It's the human connections and experiences that you cherish the most, and when you have these far from reach halfway across the world, you yearn for them and take extra care to cherish these things ever so greatly when you do eventually return back home. Taking initiative and saying yes to new opportunities is also a new experience that you'll have when you're solo traveling. You'll come to realize that if you don't get out of your comfort zone and try new things, your life's just going to be boring and you'll never grow as a person. Say yes to new opportunities. Try out new things. Meet new people. Get out of your comfort zone. The fear of not knowing is worse than the fear of rejection, so get out of your comfort zone and you'll be amazed at the doors that will open and the opportunities that will come your way. Another great takeaway of solo travel is that it gives you a newfound gratitude for how well you actually have it back home. Chances are, if you're solo traveling and staying in hostels, you will be carrying everything for your trip out of a single backpack, and that can really make you appreciate how good your life is back home. You have your own bed, your own kitchen, your own bathroom. Your life back home feels so luxurious in comparison, and it's these little things that make you that much more grateful and appreciative of your life back home. You don't appreciate something until it's gone, and this cannot be more true than when you're solo traveling and relying on the bare essentials. So those were some of the reasons why I think you should solo travel. I guess the key takeaway is that no one but yourself is the key driver of the happiness in your life. You're the only one that can live your life. Your priorities and values are determined by no one else but yourself, not by the expectations that are put on you by others, and that you're going to get the most out of life if you get out of your comfort zone and do things that scare you the most. I hope this video will help you on taking that next step and solo traveling. And as always, if you found it enjoyable or got something out of it, make sure to hit like and subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll see you in the next video.